From week 0, all Monash students are enrolled in a program called Achieving Success at Monash. It contains a lot of orientation wisdom around learning about learning, academic integrity, English language proficiency, but its core thrust is about defining what success means for individual students. It's presented by students themselves, and they emphasise that the value of study and the greatest satisfaction in success is not gaining top marks, though they're nice to have, but a new capability to generate conversation about their learning. It encourages a nuanced view of success where students differentiate themselves from any standardisation that a marking rubric implies. That's really the central theme of our approach at Monash, which we call the Better Teaching, Better Learning agenda. It's a staff-facing program that encourages lecturers to renovate their units in favour of active learning, with refreshments to assessment and learning outcomes, so that everything is properly aligned to achieve a better educational result. We don't categorically discourage didactic lecture techniques because sometimes they're brilliant and highly valued by students, but we want to see a whole lot of student involvement in tasks and discussions around the topics. So even if there's a component which is, let's say, passive, the opportunity to try out the ideas and converse is never far away. The themes of Better Teaching, Better Learning agenda are too important to leave to chance. So we've organised a mandatory professional development program for all our teaching staff called SEED, Continuing Educational Excellence Development. Among its many offerings is a module called Fostering Student-Centeredness, which specifically sorts out what is meant by student-centeredness and how to make it a reality throughout the curriculum. But other SEED modules are based on the same principles: unit enhancement, for instance, fostering active learning in large classes and so on. There's a whole section devoted to curriculum design. Oh yes, we've encountered plenty of challenges. For example, we can seek to induct all students into the thrill of learning about learning before and during orientation. But if there are no marks attached and there's no direct benefit to their scores, our highly competitive students sometimes won't engage. The academics teaching in units remain our most important resource, and we can't artificially indoctrinate students as if we'd want to. So training the academics is our priority. One of our SEED modules is devoted to the task under the title Supporting Student Success. We have another module that explains the economic benefits of looking after students. Run by good scholars in the field, it would persuade even the most pragmatic and sceptical souls. We love our analytics. The principle here is that checking up on students is time-consuming and therefore expensive for our research-productive academics. But even the stock standard tools on the LMS allow us to identify students who would benefit most by some intervention, so we can target our efforts more efficiently. But we also pursue this cautiously because we aren't keen on turning student success into a negative or reactive, remedial strategy. We want all our processes to favour the positive. And just because of our personalised approach to student success, we're just as keen to stimulate the ambitious as we are to save the needy. We'd like to boast about hard data, but empirical approaches are treacherous. For example, we might be able to prove that the students who take our program perform better than those who don't do it all, but that doesn't scientifically adduce a cause, because it could be argued that the successful students are simply more likely to complete the program and would have succeeded even if they hadn't. So it's early days, and rather than relying on statistical witchcraft to hold our course, I'd say that we'd be doing what we're determined to do, regardless of the analytics, because there are lots of other benefits in our approach related to the genuinely high-minded spirit of the Monash graduate attributes. We'd be wanting programs to communicate them and honour our commitment to them, irrespective of a year's figures or 5 years' figures, which may fluctuate for all kinds of reasons. Once we saw an alignment between individualising student success and the substance of our graduate attributes, the project rose to a must-do status. These projects take a lot of investment, and perhaps we'd have reason to guard our initiatives jealously and remain the unique proprietors of their advantages. But the thing is, we've got our heart in something major, and we're so enthusiastic about our thinking that we're prepared to share it. And also, with candour on all sides, we have a lot to gain by identifying and workshopping solutions to problems that beset all universities. For me personally, the prospect of gaining a new perspective is priceless.